The generation starship is a classic concept in science fiction. Other stars are hugely far away, and our spacecraft are slow. Why not condemn several generations of our descendants to live on board ship, in the hope of reaching a new world in hundreds of years' time? What could possibly go wrong? Brian Aldiss, who became a major figure in British SF, made his novel debut with a unique exploration of this theme. Non-Stop, published in 1958, is a generation ship classic, and also a superb example of how writers can deploy a chain of conceptual breakthroughs, transforming their characters' view of the world. Welcome to episode 164, originally published on the 17th of July 2025, and to the plant-choked corridors of the ship. A quest or journey to seek out answers about the world is an important recurring element in science fiction. Rarely has this been employed to greater impact than in Brian Aldiss's debut novel, Non-Stop. A classic of its decade, it launched Aldiss's career, which saw him become a leading figure in British SF for many years. Published in the US under the title Starship, the novel is a key example of the enduring generation ship theme. Aldiss's characters are trapped in a claustrophobic world which is as constrained conceptually as it is spatially. Their exciting physical journey is a framework for a chain of thrilling conceptual breakthroughs which transform their understanding of themselves, their world, and the universe. Non-Stop is classic SF at its best, both an engaging adventure and a probing search for answers rooted in scientific speculation. Roy Complain is a member of the Green Tribe, one of a number of hunter-gatherer factions that eke out a living in the cramped corridors and dank rooms of their world. Theirs is an artificial, inside world. None of Roy's people have ever seen a sky, nor set foot in any kind of natural environment. An ambitious rogue priest, Marappa, claims that everyone is living on a ship, but can neither prove this nor explain what it would mean. The ship is large and mostly unexplored by the Green Tribe, choked by fast-growing plants called ponics. Rumours abound of sinister and seldom seen giants and of the mysterious outsiders. After his woman, Gwenny, is captured in a skirmish with a rival tribe, and after the trade value of meat declines, Hunter Roy becomes willingly conscripted into Marappa's bold and forbidden scheme. Their small group will sneak into Deadways, a neighbouring region of the ship. If from there they can reach and capture the control centre, should such a thing exist, they would acquire unimagined power. The way is fraught with dangers, from the ponics to mutant rats and moths and the threat of rival factions. Along the way, Roy and his comrades uncover a series of revelations which may lead to the big something, the ultimate truth that Roy has been semi-consciously searching for his entire life. The discovery early on in the novel that Roy and his people are living on a generation starship is easy to foresee, and not only because of the title of the US version. Prior to all this, the outstanding treatment of this concept was Robert Heinlein's linked stories Universe and Common Sense, published in Astounding in 1941. It's since become a common notion that the crew of a generation ship would, after confronting a crisis, experience a collapse of their fragile society and lose the knowledge about the nature of their environment. Part of what makes Aldiss's treatment of this idea so compelling is the vividness of his depiction of the ship's interior. The vessel is vast and complex, experienced as a dangerous and confusing labyrinth by its inhabitants. The mutant animals and plants reinforce the sense of collapse and hint at the specific disaster which befell the ship. The dank, ominous mess of this setting has likely influenced later starships, not least the Nostalgia for Infinity, an indelible creation of Alistair Reynolds encountered first in Revelation Space. Including non-stop in his book Science Fiction: The 100 Best Novels in 1985, David Pringle wrote that the story begins to grip the reader only when Complane and a few of his comrades break free of the tribe and set out on a journey of discovery. This leads to what Pringle calls a series of ingenious revelations, the conceptual breakthroughs which serve as the novel's framework. Late on, Aldiss literalizes the notion of breakthrough when his characters acquire a powerful cutting tool which allows them to melt the walls between sections of the ship. As Complane discovers more about the ship and the disaster which befell it long ago, his view of the world shifts and expands greatly. Aldiss mines this process for both its dramatic as well as intellectual potential. The conceptual breakthroughs are tightly linked to changes in Complane's character. Pringle writes that at the outset of the story, Aldiss's protagonist is petty, mean, vindictive, and a bit stupid. Certainly he treats Gwenny very poorly, and seems barely to notice her abduction. His growing awareness of the truth changes Complane. He becomes more thoughtful, cooperative, and proactive as the novel goes on. Non-stop suggests that people are a product of their environment. Complane begins as the prisoner of a ruined, claustrophobic, and besieged environment, with morals and attitudes to match. When he encounters a different way of life in the forward section, his perspective shifts accordingly. As he discovers, there's no guarantee of reaching a destination, nor a better future. Non-stop has a strikingly fresh feel for a novel published in 1958, and is rightly described by the Science Fiction Encyclopedia as a brilliant treatment of the generation starship topos and the theme of conceptual breakthrough. Rooted in science and powered by the techniques and effects that make science fiction special, this is a genuine classic of the form. Thanks for listening. For more classic science fiction reviews, visit andyjohnson.xyz. You can also find the show on YouTube and follow updates on Blue Sky. In both cases, just search Classic SF with Andy Johnson. Finally, to get in touch, use the contact form on my site or hit the link in the episode description to send a text message.